All right, we'll get started. Thanks everyone for coming. And as this says on the screen here, let me bring up the chat section. There we go. As the screen says, we're going to talk about some of the things that we released at the ISC West show. Let's get started. So one of the things about the show itself is we were busy from the start, from Wednesday till the end of the show. We did presentations on different releases about every hour, plus many more at each kiosk for one-on-one presentations. But we're going to talk about one specific one, which is MyDW, and then we're going to talk about some camera releases and then some new and improved integrations. First off, MyDW is a cloud solution for health monitoring, camera view verification, which we'll talk about, clip sharing, and then proactive support. One of the things about it is it works with all of our current hardware and a lot of our legacy hardware, including our G4 platform, our IP Plus, and A1 platform. So that means analog solutions as well as IP solutions and any blackjack server running Spectrum 5.5 or better. And we're releasing a new hybrid recorder called Kova that will record locally as well as the cloud. And MyDW also works with Megapix AI CAS, which is our camera as a system. So key features of MyDW. First off, cybersecurity. We'll talk a little more about that, but it's SOC 2 compliant. It has a mapping and dashboard so you can check the status visually, any location of any recorders. You can create alerts and rules for all different kinds of events. It has a easy video sharing platform that's all in the MyDW dashboard. There's also a bunch of reports related to system health, camera configuration, and just how the systems are actually running. It has a new organization and user management, and it is a unified solution. So again, it works with most of our items. So the first thing is cybersecurity. So the cybersecurity portion is the fact that, how come this thing is not advancing? There we go. Cybersecurity portion is we're SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. So what that means is DW can't access user data information and private information without permission, but also under SOC 2 Type 2, it will require two-factor authentication. So that means that the end user wants, or you want to put it into the dealer, they have to use their phone or some other sort or email in order to approve any access to the system. So again, very important if you're doing any sort of cloud services, this is an important thing to have because it's going to be almost the first question that comes up. Next is map and dashboard. Okay, so you can create mapping, okay, that can be your main dashboard. And so here's a representation of the maps. You have your health monitoring and widgets dashboard. You can get immediate insights into questions or efficiency or status of any system in your organization. And what you'll be is you will wind up being an MSP. And so an MSP is a managed service provider. So you will actually be helping the customers, if you want, manage the services that you're providing them. For instance, an NVR recording and a camera goes out, the customer really doesn't look at that thing all that often, but you can see it and then help the customer out if that comes up. So one of the ways you can do this is the map interface. So you can see all the recorders on your system. All right, drive through them, see ones that are orange or red. Red means there's a network problem. Okay, you have a critical problem, and then green is healthy. So I only want to see the ones that have something going on. And you can drill into the map or just click on them directly. And it will say, oh, look, here's some video loss. Here's where the system may be restarted. Then there's a whole sub-menu that shows you the status of the CPU, how much memory it's using, network, if anything else has been going on with it. Let's say there's a power problem in the building, power keeps turning off and coming back on, that actually will be reported here as restarts, okay? So it's an integration of it's the main view of all your systems, and all the alerts can populate on the map. So let's take a little closer look at this one, because it actually shows you the status of the drives, the local storage, status of the cloud storage, the CPU utilization, memory, and network. And then if you're hooked up to one that has a PoE switch in it, like our HOVA system or our G4 IP units, these have your PoE ports and what's going on with them, if you'll notice. And again, CPU, memory, network, power consumption, and the amount of network utilization they're using. Are they hitting the gateway? How many clients are connected? Are they talking to a DDNS server? Are they talking to the cloud? So you can get a lot of visual information from this really at a glance, but also if you have your systems throughout one part of a state, whether it's Kansas, whether it's New York State, or whatever, you can just see on a map a system, and then comes up orange on there, and you can either react to that or react to a notification coming into you. So the other things are alerts. You can create alert rules and receive alert when something's happening. All right. And we have a streamlined setup for incident management. End users can use our smart event handling and alert notifications. All right. Installers, though, can be alerted to something's going on. So again, we have this screen here, abnormal restart and video loss. All right. And it allows you can include camera or NVR network, and even we're going to talk about camera vandalism. So here's some different alerts. So we go into alert detail, and again, system not responding. So we can go and let's say we have a technician that's either in the area or assigned to the area, or can go to that site. We can have someone saying, please look at this, fix this. They'll get an email that has the pertinent information in it. Okay. It'll assign it to them, and then they can go and work out the best way, the best course of action for the customer, whether it's a site visit, whether it's just log in to take a look at it, or whatever. So along with that, the end users and integrator can use MightyW smart event handling and alert notifications to pinpoint events, address new incidents, and as quickly as possible alert law enforcement if necessary, okay, or management, or again, the end user can manage the law enforcement end of it, and the integrators can manage the technical part of it. But you can do this all from a central location, and the user systems and view alerts from the user can view alerts from individual sites. All right. And here we're creating a rule for that. This is more of a technical rule. Like we want to see disk alerts. What kind of disk alerts? Are we seeing bad sectors? Is the drive reporting bad sectors? Is there a storage space full for whatever reason, which means it's not deleting data? So we're going to get a lot of information from this, and then you can assign it to a person or an email that goes out to a group of people. Okay. And then you can go next, create a rule name, put a description in there for that rule. So again, we're going in and creating a smart rule that can be global or drilled down to one system. Okay, you can say all the systems if this happens to it, or just one system. Next is video sharing. This is probably one of the best features of here because it does a real, it gives you a really quick ability to share videos over the cloud. Okay, so normally if you're downloading video, you've got to download a video, put it somewhere in a Dropbox and make sure it's watermarked or whatever. Well, what we're doing is via the clip share, and we're going to jump to the clip share. So we've got a little button there. You click, it launches the clip sharing. You turn clip sharing on for that one, and you say allow download, and you even give it an expiration date. So now you can share it with someone. They can view it, but they can't download it. Okay, so you can give them the ability to view it, but not really download it. So again, really good. And then have it expire. So after a certain date, use it, and you can either put in someone that's already in there or add a user in which you're going to share it to. Give it an expiration date. We give it a few days. Either look at it or if it doesn't matter, then you click next. and then that is sent, and they can log in and see just that one clip. And again, reports, you can create reports that give you detailed health and system management, allows you to save time and money on redundant overhead and repetitive tasks, like going out, looking at a site and looking to see what cameras are working. So this one will give you, we can go to a report list inventory report, and we can see all the recorders that are out there, either under every recorder you have access to or recorders in a particular organization. And you can look and say, this happens to be all Spectrum. They're all green, which means they're all working, right? So reduce false alarms, save money, and you're not going to each site saying, yes, the cameras look fine, or you're looking for an email that a camera went out, whatever. This is going to alert you when something's going on. We've got another report. Again, can be sent to you as alerts. You got an installation report. This report allows you to see the final inspection of the location, okay? And then you can hand it to the customer, have them look at it, sign off on it, but it allows it to be printed out, okay? So they can see it printed out. Of course, if you have a color printer, or done as a PDF. You can make sure all the camera views are right, you know, the installation was finished, and thus, so it can be part of your final inspection of a site. Then we have CDV. So what CDV is our camera view verification. So what it does, it's sampling images from the camera, okay, and making sure the view stays the same, whether it's daytime or nighttime. So if you have some sort of obstruction, in this case, it's a little blurry. For some reason, the camera went out of focus, or there's something in front of the camera, or the camera got spray painted or knocked out of the way. This will send you an alert when something like that happens. Like I said, these things, these video products tend to be the first couple of weeks. Everyone's looking at it. They want to check out the cameras and see what's going on. But after a while, one or two people are looking at it. And in some cases, no one's looking at it. This way, if it's managed by the end user, they'll get the alert saying, hey, a camera's out, or a camera doesn't have quite a view, and actually show you the view saying it's not looking right, okay, whether it's day or night, okay? So it becomes invaluable whether you're managing the system for your customer to make sure the cameras look right, or the customer's doing it themselves. So, and this is actually a view of how camera view verification works. You can go to different sites on here, and you can we'll actually see one that is not great. See, this one's not in good shape. It's got dust or dirt or whatever. So again, you have all these reports you can go in for tampering, obstruction, something going on as far as a camera being out or something going on with the network. You're going to see it all through these different reports. So organization and user management. So create a user. It's very simple. We actually have an add user function right up over here, and I'm going to hit play. And you add their email in. And these are using the email as your login. Give it a group, whether they're just a viewer, a custom role, or they're an administrator. You put in their full name, and if need be, a description like regional manager, regional security manager, or something like that. And you put in a description that says Paul Test or something like that. Just deciding not to put anything in there. And then you have your list of users. Basically supports unlimited users. Okay. You can add users and create different groups and assign users to a recorder or a group of recorders. And these can be Spectrum, VMAX G4, IP pluses, COVA systems, among others. And so here we're creating a group. Going in, going to find someone to add to the group. Click next. All right, then you choose your recorders. So you can do all recorders if you want. Click next. And then you can do, if it's a Spectrum permissions, and then if it's a VMAX, a G4, or a COVA, you use those permissions down there. All right, and you can go in and have your user all created. All right, so DW is a unified solution that allows you to connect to, again, your digital Watchdog VMAX products, okay, your Spectrum products, Blackjack AI CAS products. And by the way, the COVA system that's there in the middle stands for Cloud Optimized Video Archiving. We will have some really nice separate webinars on that particular product because that one ups the ante on cloud connection and cloud usefulness of products. And we've also released at the show, which we will again have other webinars about, is DW Spectrum Enterprise. So please wait for that. Compatibility with MyDW are all of our current products. Our VMAX recorder, including the VMAX A1, VMAX G4, and the COVA, our different servers, our CX, which is our Spectrum 1U box that has 16 PoE ports in it, our AI servers, our cost-effective DX unit, our super mini MX unit. And one of the ways you can manage MyDW, though, is through a mobile app. Actually, using COVA, Spectrum, or VMAX, it makes it a unified app. So you can be in the VMAX app and launch the Spectrum app, which I find like really enticing because now you can go from one to the other, have them be all registered in the DW Mobile Plus app and go directly to the Spectrum app. And again, you can be talking to Spectrum, VMAX COVA, and MyDW all in the same app. So we've also put Dwayne in the system, which is our digital watchdog AI helper, which is on our website, but it's also in, just click that, also in the app. So you can go in, go to help, and get help with your different questions. Matter of fact, I'm just going to run forward here because I got a better one here. I'm going to type in, I want to know about RTSP settings. All right, very general. What Dwayne is trained on all digital watchdog documents, including manuals and web pages and our help section and all that stuff. So it'll give you a really good answer. And if you, of course, have Spectrum now and put RTSP, it'll give you a closer answer that's tied to Spectrum. Okay. And you can go in and play with it and ask it different questions. And what's nice is this is also a hybrid solution. So let's say it's not giving you the answer that you need. Okay. A specific answer. Someone will, you could say, I need more help, and someone will reply. So it's actually monitored by a human being. So in summary, for IDW, we have a cloud managed service that basically turns you into a managed service provider. Okay. It's a single platform, all web-based, so you can run it. Although I think the phone is a little small, but you can certainly run it from the phone, a tablet, or a full-size laptop or PC. End users will have access to live view, playback, video clip. If they have someone who's their designated administrator, they can do some of the administrative stuff and you can help them manage the rest. So this one you're going to hear more about. And by the way, if you want, send me an email, or if you know your local RSM, send them an email, and we have a trial going on where you can get into it and use the trial on it. So next thing we're going to talk about is some integrations. We have some new tech partners, and we're going to talk a little bit about PDK as enhanced their integration, okay, along with Allied Telesis, which is a company that makes really nice, well-done switches. So what does Allied Telesis do? What they're doing is they're empowering the VMS administrators, okay, to look at network centralization is the core of surveillance solution. They want to be able to remote manage the facilities. And if a problem comes up, they want to have quick resolution to problems. All right. What Allied Telesis does with Spectrum is maximize the capability of the VMS operator and shorten the cycle to response, and then minimize the need to do truck rolls and give VMS operators the ability to plan for expansion. Okay. So the next thing it does is Allied Telesis as an admin, okay, their Stream Connect allows them to identify Allied Telesis switches in the network, discover what ports are powering cameras, So you can, again, be an admin, view the power being consumed by any camera, cycle power, and any communication to the camera. And this allows for a remote test of, let's say, a stuck camera. Okay. You can also observe the total power draw on each switch as well as each port, manage port power allocation. And also, it allows the remote reset of, again, like a stuck camera. You think something's going on. So this is a setup page that an admin can see, but your end user, okay, will see something like this on the switch. He chooses the camera. There's 3 cameras hooked up to the switch, and allow that end user to cycle the state, which means to just turn off the data going to it, turn it back on, okay, cycle power, or do both. Okay, so it kills the data first and then restarts it. Okay, so you now have much more control. And by the way, there's many more features in the Allied Telesys integration, but it allows you to go in and have something that will work in Spectrum, work right in the GUI in Spectrum, so you can not have to leave that and figure out a way to do a web page or port forwarding or just something else. You can do it. So this is a really, I think, one of my favorite things from the show, even though it's pretty simple. There are other ways we could do it with other manufacturers, but this is actually a piece of software that's designed to work inside of Spectrum. Okay, I'll give you a lot of insights into what's going on with the switch as well. So next is PDK. They've developed a new interface. They've simplified their interface, but really what we like the most is the integration. Okay, so you can go in and choose the different integrations they have. You can do W Spectrum, set it up as an admin, so an admin enables the integration. You make it configurable by an admin. Only an integrator with permission can configure anything on the integration. And then you can go to the integration and you log into the cloud. So you're logged into PDK's cloud, then you're logging into our cloud. So it's a cloud-to-cloud solution. Okay, gives you the ability to create generic alarm and action events in Digital Watchdog Spectrum from the PDK software. Again, we'll just let this go through. Salt Lake City, we're going to do mountain bike shop, and then it's going to start seeing the video coming from Spectrum. And then what do we want to do and enable? Do we want to have in the VMS, what's called a soft trigger? Okay. They call it a lock trigger, unlock trigger. They can create an unlock trigger on any of these doors through Spectrum. So you only have to do the setting here. You don't have to do the setting in Spectrum. Okay. Right now you're seeing an access event, and it's just bookmarking access events and taking the data from the PDK world into Spectrum. Okay. Search by bookmarks by event, by location. And this is a great way to look at a site and say, hey, was there a door prop? Was the door forced open? Is someone just sitting there swiping a bad card? As you can see, this one has a large number of cameras hooked up to it. Now, there's also the initiate soft triggers from the camera view. And again, these can lock and unlock doors. They also have other functions inside of Spectrum, like turn on and off lights, generate other events inside of Spectrum. It's the end, sorry. Again, that one has, again, a true cloud-to-cloud solution, so very easy to set up. So the next thing we're going to talk about is 2 cameras we've released. One is our 4K AI strobe light camera. Now, I had, of course, a product picture. I wanted to give you a sense of the size because it's a little bigger than normal because this has a ton of features in it. It's got a 14-watt speaker or siren. Okay, so it can be used for talk down, has a mic built in. It has white, blue, red, and green lamps. It's got a 6 to 22 millimeter motorized zoom, so it's varifocal. It has our full deep learning AI in it. So it includes object detection, people detection, even detects forklifts, whether it's a truck or an SUV, things like that. You can create 40 separate detection zone and super easy to set up. Basically, you point it at the site and that's it. And then you set your rules and then you configure Spectrum to receive those. Very easy to do, all at the edge, and it will detect, deter, and even illuminate. I have seen the shall we say, less expensive cameras, or I would say less quality cameras, because now everything seems expensive to me, but less quality cameras, that it's just like a motion detector and then it turns on a light randomly for no reason. This one, you can use the object detection to turn on even different colored lights based on what it's doing with no real chance of meaningful false alarms. So the next one is one that it was our bullet camera. All right. And people were asking for it. They really like the camera. They like the wide angle, the 2.3 millimeter wide view. I believe that gives us like 175 millimeter view, but they wanted it so it would be not be a bullet camera style. So this is the new wall mount version, 4K, all the same features, detects the same edge AI, the same 40 areas of alerts, deep learning AI, all those things built into the camera. So it's really suitable. This is a picture from our booth. Wanted to give you guys a picture of how it looked. And it's got this 55-degree angle down, which we found was the sort of the best angle for it, because you're not having it sit there. If it's flat, then it has this very wide, shall we say, top to bottom view. If you've ever installed our other one, you can have the camera almost pointing straight out and you can see underneath it. So this is putting it down, so this way you're not getting recording the sky and clouds and all that stuff going by. So anyway, those are the two releases. I want to thank you guys.